That's better. 1, 2, 3. Is that better? Can you hear me now? Making funny sounds. Not working. Stream logic. Can you hear me on this one clearly? There's no washing machine. Far out. I thought I had a good start. All right. I've got a few. That works. Okay. So I'll leave that one. No. Okay. So that's coming from my computer. The default. Logitech stream. That should work as well. Just give me this. Can you hear me clearly? Yeah, can you hear me clearly? Hello, can someone tell me, besides making jokes? Yep, that works. That's clear. Someone say yes, that's clear. No? Let me just type it in. Okay, all right. Do you guys want me to go back over what I just did? Although it will take a while. Do you want me to go back over this? All right, no one's answering. Let's go on. All right, so that's. Hopefully I've got some of you back. All right. Should have tested before. All right, now what's the next tool that can help us out? Briefly, if you can. All right. Basically, I was waffling. I should get better this time. So what we have is this trend line that is very prevalent. This trend line initially was the bar, inverted bar. It's a well-known strategy, and that strategy, if you can look it up, it's basically finding a line, and it's usually to the 0.618 or the 0.5. And then when you break it, so that was 0.618, and you break it, so you can see how it broke it. It retested this bar line and found support. So this bar line that I'm putting there is relevant. As you extend that, you can see that. So initially, I traded this based on this method. And if you extend that, you can see there's support here, but more so this one here, there's resistance, support, resistance, somewhere in the middle, almost there, the wick's there, and we're on that line again. So you can see that relevance all the way through. Here we have another potential 2-layer channel. So in the middle, roughly, if we get the middle in there, you can say that has prevalence as well. Give or take, it doesn't really matter, but it looks like a channel. And we're on the bottom of the channel, overextend. Sometimes what happens with the channels, you overstretch, but in this case, we're almost there. Now, having that trend line is one element, okay? So we've got one element on the chart that has confluence with price. Then the other element is Fibonacci that we look at. Actually, the quicker one is this 200 moving average. So this is the next element, the 200 weekly SMA. This 200 weekly moving SMA, if you look at it from historical perspective, I better go into the daily, otherwise it won't squeeze. has historical prevalence. Support, support. It acted as support when it passed back. So you can see that. Even these 200. So we've got 200 SMA and EMA playing its role as a band. We broke that. So that was meant to be support. We went through it quickly. Now that's going to act as resistance, just like here. And now we're looking for potential support here. So we've got this range to play with in the coming weeks as potential reversal, but I don't expect it to go too high. I expect it to go there and then back down. And I've explained that in the past. Why? Because we have a 1, 2, 3 play. Then we have our A, B, C correction. So here we have our 1, we have our 2, we have our 3, and we're having our A, B, C correction. Then we make the bull run. And I think I said that was around July 2023. So that's my hypothesis based on observations and so on, Elliott wave, etc. Here, what we have, if I was to get this Fibonacci and bring it all the way to the top, roughly to the top, you can see the 618 is almost there as well. So if you move this down, the 618 is close to that spot there as well. If I was to get this and put it to the wick, you can see the 618 right in the middle of it. So now we've got 3. So we've got the trend line, we've got the moving average, and we've got the Fibonacci, right? So we can get rid of that. So we've got 3 elements so far. And what I said with the 4th is the AB equals CD move. So we get this top to the bottom. Yeah. That is a measured move. We grab that, put it to the top, and it fits to the box. Again, fits into that box. So this box is becoming interesting enough. Briefly, you can, scary, okay. So this box is pretty much area of interest. Historically, that's what it's been based on. Now, you would think that the bulls will come in. It might overperform. Just the whales might just push it and liquidate the ones that are going long. So you've got to play careful with these guys. So you don't just jump in to the falling knife. Be patient. And if it's a reversal, we're going to be here for weeks. All right. We might have this bounce. So see how we capitulate. We're in capitulation mode, as you know. And eventually, so we've got I'm not saying it's that kind of motion, but that was a level of support, and this was our level here. We broke that level, now we're capitulating. So this could really go down more. We could have bounces and then reverse. So be careful. Just because I've got that, it's a bear market. We have potentially next week the Fed raising rates. If it's 0.75 increase or 75% increase, then you can bet your money that it's going to dump. Okay, so we had our CPI, which was 8.6, whatever, and it was roughly what I suppose financial economists were expecting. But if they raise interest rates, this is going to drop more. So we're going to look at other indicators to help us figure out what's going on. But at the moment, we are close to a supporting level, and we'll see if we can look in closer more and see what else can support us in this thesis. So, all right, let's have a look at the other tools that we have in hand. What I did was I also did the Fibonacci in an inverted way. So if I was to go inverted scale, and if I was to actually just clear the screen, you can see that looks like a reversal but in the inverse way, right? So if do I have drawing tools? I can't draw tools now here. Okay. So that looks like a significant reversal structure, doesn't it? And a breakout. That breakout, if I was to measure this breakout, it will be that height, right? That height, now I add it, give or take. So now 12,000 comes into play as a big further down. So macro-wise, either this neckline, so we can use that neckline. Yeah, we agree. That looks like a massive reversal structure. That neckline. So we have confusion as to what the neckline is going to be. So we get the other one, the other neckline to the top. Can be big. So we've got this range as a macro target. And you know what? A lot of traders have been talking about that. Some are even worse. They're even saying 8,000 and so on. But this level to me makes sense. So what we're going to look for in this case, potentially, if we reverse this now, actually the other thing I was speaking about is this here. If we were to do the Fibonacci extension, there's a number of ways of doing this. If we use this point to the wick and then bring it back down, we've got the 0.5 and the 0.618 in this box as well. So that's giving us a lot of weight. We've got the 0.72. So if this was the neckline, so let's go back. If this was a neckline, we'll have this black line, and I'll put my 1 there, reference, and my 0. You can see the 1.72, 1.272 is that level there, also in that box area. If I said this was the neckline, then you can see the 1.414 also comes into that place. So if we look at this one, 618 actually, let's do this, put the other fib in, short. If we would say that was it, the neckline, again, we have confluence with the 1.272 in that area, as long and with the 1.414. So this area again tells me it's a area of interest. The hard question is, which one do we go with, right? So I'm going with this neckline because I explained it in the past. I think this is the neckline, and this is equivalent to the bottom second layer. Give me a sec. Inverted scale. Here we go. So that's what we have. So what do we expect? We expect support to come in. At the moment, it's still falling. So if we look at the 4 hour, let's just have a quick look, see what's done. Actually, a small time frame. It's still capitulating. Okay. And did I miss my trade? Okay. The alts are holding. Bitcoin's dropping. The alts seem to be holding. Maybe not. Okay. Now that seems to Bitcoin's dropping, but the alts aren't not dropping, or some of them anyway. I'm looking at because I've got some shorts on. I want to make sure I get some profit. If it drops more, then yeah. All right. So that's how we got it. Now, what other tools do we have to help us figure this out? And I'm going to look at the wording and see what it is. What people are asking. All right. We've got balance. I heard security needs stops. Okay. Are you using the red-green lines? Yes, I am. Do you use volume to see whether actually? No, I don't use volume. Why don't we use volume? Because what is the true volume? If we look at Tether or we look at US dollar, that's the issue. And then which exchange? So that's where you need data from all the exchanges to give you a good figure. I don't like the fact that sometimes volume does help, but in this case it doesn't. So on the daily, let's see if volume does make a difference here. Maybe give us a sec. In some cases, it does. I don't rely on it. So so that's the 4 hour. We had a bit of a capitulation there, big wick. It's not in this comparison, is it? So that drop is a lot of volume. Problem is we've been selling along the way. So this would have been much better to read. This one is just bleeding. It's not capitulating. It's just bleeding. We have a bit of a spike once we drop that level. So we dropped, but it's nowhere near. Now, can we use that? Don't know. Let me check another exchange. Give me a sec. Clean a chart. Come on. Okay, so this Binance, and you can see the 200 moving average doesn't have a history as we like the others. It's just you need history for that to work, to show the other areas. So let's look at on the other chart. Give me a sec. The index one. Let's see, where's the index? USD. Hopefully, I don't know where they gathered this information from. So this volume is huge. Okay. So this is something I looked at a while ago. And, okay, this volume is high. So I don't know how they do the index, but this volume matches the previous dump. So this dump and this dump is getting the same. So yes, and you can see my 618 is almost there. So I suppose the index, Bitcoin index, is more standardized, and therefore you have averaging values from a number of exchanges. I don't know how the formula works. That's the other thing, but the measured move is pretty much on target. So you can see what I had here, A, B, C, and the bigger picture is what I had. So okay, that's what I got at the moment. Looks like we yeah. So it's too early to say, really. Right. So let's look on this tool. Let's see what it does. Okay. No, that's not going to help. I want to see the range. Give me a sec. Definitely red. So this is not going to help us. All right. So what else can we use? So this is my belief. This structure is that. And I think, and I did explain this in the past, I think it is accurate. And the fact that it came down here is pretty much on the money. All right. So what else I want to show you is this Tether. So Tether, I've done a lot of work on this in the past. And so what I did with Tether, if this was the level, that's the wick, and this is the all-time low, so that's my reference, 0 and 1, the 1.618, and we hit it. Now, I think we're going to find resistance here, and then it's going to come back down. This was my reversal region, and this is the bear market region with Tether dominance. It's working. It's listening to those fib. It's really responding to those fib levels as well. So I do think this is a good indicator that we're very close to the bottom. So let's look at this line, Tether dominance. Whoops. Let's just move that to the side. It's right on the money. And if we look up, that's a daily. So if we look up the 4 hour, Yeah, we got a response. Right, that Fibonacci. No, that was done ages ago, and it's better to do it. It's better to do it before. That way, you're not biased. So the other, so what I did here, if it catches up, here's the Bitcoin chart, and this is the Tether, and you can see its alignment. What I think, there's a few ways of measuring this. You can say that's the neckline to the bottom, and maybe that's where we're going to eventually end up, potentially, right? So that's with the log setting on. If I take the log setting off, it's 1.618. If I turn the log setting on, you can see the 1.618 equals roughly the end of the bear market, like the bottom. I'm thinking that way. Yes, so I think this is going to be resistance. I think it's going to come back, but you want to watch it. So if we look at it, I haven't got my where is it? Where's the indicators? Oh, here we go. Oh, that's very bullish, isn't it? So the MACD. So this is the 4 hour. You want to see this start dropping. So you want to see something like this, where the next candlestick. All right. So let's just change this. Give me a sec. I want to see if there's another tool that I can use. That's looking up close. If I add RSI, really. See if the RSI gives us anything. We can hide that. Come on, baby. RSI. RSI is pretty high. Okay, this is a 4 hour chart. Let's get rid of that for a sec. So last time we capitulated, you can see the RSI was really high. So in the past, the 34K is that level. This, yeah, it's in the region of previous lows. Oversold. So yeah, oversold, and I think we are close. So we talked about Bitcoin here. Here we go. So Bitcoin. Let's have a look at the 1 hour. Let's see how we're going. Demanding too much on the network, aren't I? Right. So let's have a look at that. That's just a theory I was doing. So this is 1 hour volume. So that is a bit of a sell. That volume is on the 1 hour is much higher, isn't it? That's volume is, so now you can see in that context, the volume starting to, the red is starting to go off. So we've got another 23 minutes. I think we're pretty much close to it. Here's my 200 moving average. Here's my Fibonacci 618. Very close. You can average in, yeah. Yeah, so it's looking good for the bottom. For this episode, anyway. It could still keep going down though, so that's what you're going to be careful of. There's no strong response, is there? So let's look at the 4 hour again. Let's look at indicators on the 4 hour. So what I've here, it's pretty much, we want to see this subside and come back down to zero. That will give us an indication. Like if you look at this indicator, the whole volume waves, every time it goes back down to zero, it is showing that the sell-off, the volatility has changed. And so I'm new to this one, not sure how it's working, but I'm going to try to see if I can make sense of it. The stochastic RSI is doing a bottoming on the 8 hour. Let's see what it's doing on the 8 hour. It's pretty much on the bottom. This is overextended. Yep, okay. The MACD still hasn't stopped. So the MACD's got, we want to see something start changing up. On the 8 hour, you want to see a bullish candle at least. So we're close, but we're not there yet. And so if this line, where is that line? Let's go back to the daily. What did I say with that line? With the other chart, I had it, I had it something like this. Pretty much. Was it with the log or no log? Okay, so it was with the log. And give or take, the best fit line is, it's pretty much on the money at the moment. And 618, and so we're very close. Let's hope we see something bullish coming out of that spot there. So we might be able to go a bit more. We want to see this start turning around. So this is the 4 hour. With the RSI hasn't changed. We want to see it change direction. So that's one tool. Let's look at the total market cap. The total market cap has dropped this level, as you can see. And similarly, this is the macro head and shoulders really. And the target for the macro head and shoulders is much further down. So we've broken this level here, or that level, the neckline, and now crypto is in the bear market. Confirmed. This is a distribution, wick-off distribution, very clear. Labeled it. Actually, don't need this, do we? So if you look at that, and you get this measured move. So if this is a neckline, and we apply it, give or take, close to the 0.5 Fibonacci, and it's not responding, waiting. Okay, so you can see where it comes down to. We've got a few levels. I've got this level, and then I've got this next level down. I don't think it's going to go that far, but you never know. We've got the 618, so we can play something. We can see something come down. So the alts might keep bleeding, and we've got this distribution structure. So nothing yet that we can work on that. Let's look at closer on the 4 hour. Yeah, it's still dropping. You try to go up, got rejected. So we'll see what happens there every 4 hours. But you can rest assured that that's confirmed that we got a long way to go from a total market cap perspective. Let's see what else. Very, very little risk. I guess what we want is hit that line and play the bounce. Yes. So far, so good. I think the communication that I've got across is that we are close to a buying price. Now, let's look at our indicators. On the daily, you want to see something like this, stochastic moving around. Let's look at on the 8 hour. It's still there. I want to add one more indicator, and give me a sec. I should have it. Okay, here we go. One of my favorites. I want to see this crossover. So we are looking on the 8 hour. Let's see on the 4 hour. Yeah, I'd like to see this crossover. It's almost there, but this is very, very bearish on the 4 hour. Early signs is what we were looking for. The Phoenix, we want to see something like that, just crossing over where the green is above the red. I can see a lot of oversold conditions with those dots, which is divergence. When it gives divergence, there's usually a reversal coming. And what if you want to be on the 4 hour big comfortable, you want to see this come to above 50%. And then we'll see how the rest of it looks like. But we also want to see this type of action here, just to see that bullish candle. So my thinking is that is the level there that I'm looking at, and it could potentially overplay and keep going. What we've got to be careful is, and it can do this, and doesn't do it, we can have a 1 and a 2. So what we can do is we can have this, and then a bit of a deeper one, and then up. So 20,000, it could go down to 18,000 right here, 19,000, sorry. 19,000, it can wick. And then, so we want to see, ideally we want to see capitulation. This is not capitulation, this is a steady sell down, but we want to see a strong wick. And let's have a look at if there's any signs of that happening on the small time frame. So if we go to 15 minutes now, excuse me guys. Okay. Do you really rely on candlestick indicators? Candlestick indicators? No, just look at the candlesticks themselves. So here we can see there's a wick. In the 15 minutes, there's a strong wick. We don't have that yet. That kind of response is good. So if we look at this type of response in the 15 minutes, a strong move like that, then we know we got the bottom. Or yeah, that is a nice. So you can see how it just hits a level, and then you see the wick go. Seeing that kind of wick gives you confidence that we're close, just like this wick here. As soon as you see a wick and then green candles, at the moment, we don't have that. So I think we might just go a bit more lower. So what's that? 23,600. Just be patient. Now, candlesticks will come into a bigger play on 4 hour. At the moment, let's look at the 4 hour. That looks all right. We've got one. We've got to see this candle how it closes. So what we want to see is pretty much a free candlestick combination of a reversal on the 4 hour. Yeah, so it's something like this, green, that will give you momentum to the upside. If you've got an engulfing candle and a smaller candle, they'll be nice. It just really depends on the next 8 hours, really. This looks like something's going to start. Yeah, indecisive at the moment, and we've got another 2 hours for this candle to close. Looks like indecisive. Like I said, it should. Don't worry about this trend line because that was just. It's not enough for one trend line. The Fibonacci and the moving averages could come into play. Where have we got this? Remove it from the minutes, hours. Okay. Let's do this for a sec. I just want to see something. get rid of that. I want that line and that line extended. So if I get that line extended, yeah, it still does the same. So I can ignore that one and use these ones. It's still pretty good. Still hits that line. Okay, so that trend line is on the mark. The Fibonacci's aren't, but then you can't if you use that the wick there. So if I look in close, if I use those wicks, the 0.618 is on the mark. I thought I might use the body slightly down, but if I use the wicks, we've got resistance. It's right on the mark. Okay, so and 1.272. Far. That is a good spot. Now we've got a few things online. Trend line, that Fibonacci, the macro Fibonacci. Yeah, that's pretty on the mark. And this is on the index. It's just this 200 moving average would be nice to have, but it doesn't have to be. Here, if you want to take your chances, you take your chances, pretty much. All right. I just want to see something else. Give me a sec. Those who are looking to buy TrueBit, that looks like a good entry spot as well. A bit of a green candle. We're starting to get a green candle on the total market cap on the 4 hour. So, whoops, that's not what I wanted. Even this one I had, that's come down to that spot. I got a few versions of looking at it. Okay. AVAX hit a fib fan, so that looks good. So even AVAX is looking like a wick. So that might be the case, but I'm still looking at this level as an entry, hopefully. Okay, so we've got synthetics coming into an area of interest. I thought it might be a bit lower, but yeah, that looks good as well. BNB is holding up really nice. I'm not sure if I've got the right chart. Don't need that. This is so I can close this one. So BNB here is really strong. It's like FTT. It's really doing a good job of not breaking down. But eventually will break down. That's pretty much lost the neckline there. So I do see this coming down to this level here. BNB distribution, FTT. FTT is the one that's really holding up. So it's come down a bit. Before it was resisting, weakening. Okay, so FTT. Once it loses that, it's going to plummet. It's probably a good one to short once it drops. So we've got two levels here. That level there, it's just ever so tight. And that level there is where you're going to find support on the $22.83. So I do believe it's going to eventually drop. So finding the good entry, there you go. 200 moving average on the 4 hour. That's finding a resistance as well. Theta. These are the coins I'm interested in. Matic, been shorting, so that we've been doing well on Matic shorting, especially that breakdown. It's come to my area of interest. So green candlestick there. I've got to close some of the shorts there. That could be, got to keep an eye on that one. So take some profit, start taking some profit. So yeah, I've planned these buggers out before, so they seem to be coming to areas of interest. Might just drop a bit more. Ada didn't quite play my game. All right, so I'm still looking to short Ada. Do I AVAX twice over? Which one is it? AVAX that. All right, this one's older. No, it's the same. Okay. Cool. So there you go. How about Ethereum? All right. Ethereum's my other chart here. Give me a sec. Let me just drag Ethereum across. This is not Ethereum chart. Where's my Ethereum chart? I'll bring it out. I didn't want that. So Ethereum is still going down, still bearish. Yeah, Ethereum is more bearish than the others. So Ethereum's also hit that 200 moving average as well. There you go. That was my box. 200 moving average. I thought it might go down a bit more. Who knows? So if you look at Ethereum, a big, massive, it's coming down to this neckline. I'm thinking eventually we'll come down to there, and then we'll know what's going to happen. This is just a fractal, but you can see it's also hit the 200 moving average, and it's finding support. So Ethereum's matching Bitcoin. With Ethereum, I want to see if this worked. I don't know why I got this. This is an old. Okay, that's measuring the height. That's the wrong way. What we can do with Ethereum is very similar to Bitcoin. Measure the. No, I don't want that. Just get rid of those two. Measured move. So this has gone much worse. So what we'll do is, let's see, I think, so swing low, swing high. Okay, so you can say, give or take, it's hit the 1.414, which is good. Might have a bit more to go down. Let's just do that. And up on the right. So one's there. The 1.6, yeah, the 414 is there. So okay, to me that looks like a good level, because the 1.414 is pretty much good enough. But like I said, it's only a short term. If we were to look from the top to the bottom, or that macro breakdown, and that's probably the macro breakdown, I do see potentially this could come down to this area first, the 1.618. I think this is just we're gonna have a relief rally, potentially go like that and down. That's going to be resistance, because that was our neckline. This is our neckline. That's resistance. So if we get a rally, might get a higher rally. Really depends, but it depends on what the general markets do. So get rid of that. Let's look at another chart. TRX. Okay, TRX is dropping. Is it doing this formation? If it's that formation, that's the target. At the moment, it's holding this level here. Okay. So TRX is doing well. The measured move for TRX is this level. So it might have more to go. And so we did ADA as well, didn't we? So for ADA, that is a bit of a weird chart. But it seems to be fitting in to this broadening wedge. My area of interest for ADA is 32, 33 cents. Because when you look at ADA, in this area, there's not much volume. There isn't. It's just from here, it just sprung up. And on the way down, it's found, which it's doing more Fibonacci than volume-based profiles. So if we count the wave, it seems like that looks like a strong wave. There might be some sideways here still. So if I'll probably could ignore that for the time being. This does look like, if we look at it from another perspective, we've come down. It's all strong waves. It's like a wave 2 to 3 just continuing on. Really difficult. It's like just from here to there. It's from there to there. It's a weird chart. Not used to it. So what we can do is just use the macro Fibonacci, really. Bring it down. Got the 618 right there. So I think the 618 is where it's ultimately going to. Okay, well, I got this here, 1. Okay. That doesn't make sense. Just a sec. Okay. 618 is acting as support. That's probably why. So if we lose this 618, ADA's going to plummet. Yeah, the 618 is holding it up. So that's 1, 2. So I thought this was a setting wedge, but it might not be the case. I'm going to just remove that. So ADAs and the 200 moving weeklies are just right in the middle of it all, far out. So it was acting as resistance, it was acting as support, now it broke down again. And the 618's there. Right on it too, far out. That's weird. So the 618 is perfectly on it. It's acting as support. And you can see the wick coming up. So this one broke down before it as well. So that's very close to the second touch, third touch. Might be doing head and shoulder, guys, on ADA. So if you look at this, so far, left shoulder, head, could be doing that. Or a reversal. That's a hard one. That is a bit difficult because as far as I know, if it dropped below this, it should come down like that. And that will be a good position to buy. But then you got the issue of coming back up. Then you got this issue. So this trend line is relevant all the way through. So you find good support. It might just go like that and just come down again. So you might. I'm interested in this area for ADA. Here it's messy. Maybe looking for a short. So yeah, let's look at the Bitcoin dominance. That's probably worth doing. Oh, okay, so there you go. Bitcoin dominance has just hit, getting a reversal. Alts are kicking in. So let's look at which alts. So green candle. Whoops. Not much there really. Some alts are going up because we've got, that's the daily. So far out, unless this mathematically is wrong, the alts are starting to go their way. That's not going to help Bitcoin. So if the alts so Bitcoin dominance is dropping as we look at it. So a lot of alts have hit the bottom, and okay. So we've got confluence with this level here. It might still go higher. No, hold on. So it's my thinking that we're going to have a find the bottom. It's going to go like that and then come back down again. So Bitcoin might find a bit more to go. This could be the case where here's a reversal. Alts are coming in, but some alts are going up. But I think we might be able to hit that before we go down, because that's the all-time high in this aspect, and it's a key fib level here. There's no key fib level at the moment. That's the thinking. I want to get some of this. It's not moving yet. For Tether's not really. It's not really dropping. Although the RSI is starting. So this is the 4-hour. The RSI is starting to come down or hook. So this candlestick will give us a clue. So you can see this one here, pretty much, that was the bottom. Look at that wick. So, and see the reversal? Because that was a big rejection. We're going to have maybe a different type of rejection here, but it would be nice to have that wick. So what chart was that? Let's just refresh. No, refresh. Back here, okay. That was that capitulation there. That wick there. Okay. And I just want to add the RSI. I want to get something similar to that level. That'll be nice. It'll give us a clue. It's been consistent. That's the top reversal. And that's, yeah, so this is not going to really help. Bottom reversals there. Double top. This one's, yeah. And here, okay, that's not going to help at the moment. Too slow at the moment. So I'm pretty much running out of ideas now to what to look at. The only thing, come Monday, Tuesday, we want to see this. What we've done is the SP 500. It was going good. Then the CPI was announced, and we dropped. Far out. It's not live, is it? Oh, is this live? Far out. I'm thinking, I'm in Melbourne, Australia, so it was a public holiday, and I'm thinking it's a weekend. So that's why we've been bleeding. So we've lost that level. So there, that trend line, if you can see on the stock market, that trend line might find support here for Bitcoin as well. US dollar is going up, still long way to go for it to reverse. So Bitcoin is bleeding because of that. The correlation. Now let's look at Nasdaq. Nasdaq. It too just bled, so it's dumped. So this might be priced in for the Fed's release. I was hoping this is the bullish market, but that's gone now. No more wave 3 to 4, so that's back down there. That looks like now potentially head and shoulders. So if we find support here, that could be the left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and that's a neckline. So the Nasdaq is technology space. Oh, that's 5 minutes. Hold on, guys. Let me just go back a bit. It's still the same though. Yeah, so this was a reversal rather than a continuation. So if we lose this neckline or this level for the Nasdaq, it's going to be a much deeper pain. We were hoping that we'll hit that spot there. Actually, I'll leave that in there for historical purposes. But I was thinking we could probably play this game, and the market is very bearish. So the reversal was based on this, and that's destroyed. And I don't know, did the Fed release anything yet? Am I wrong? Fed interest rates. Bugger. Hold on. Does anyone know when the next day is for the interest rates to be announced? Okay, let's see here. Oh, it's all news there. Okay, so what I'm seeing now is the pricing in the announcement. So it won't be so bad, but that is has a strong rejection, and whoops. So you can see pretty much from SP 500 perspective, they're saying this is going to be much worse than 2008. So come on, click on how many times. Let's look at this. So that was a COVID incident. We lost a lot there. So you can see that volume. We might, you know what? We might have another scenario where that we can really lose it. Hold on, where are we going? Yeah, everything's possible. And it was 2008. Yeah, 2008, we had this big, deep pullback. Although it's ratio based here, we had the COVID. Really, that was a real dump. This is a build up and then a plunge. So what we have here is a nice ascending. Then we have descending, and then capitulation. Yeah, that's in coming. So what we have is we could have that kind of model. This can happen. And or we can have this type of model where just gradual, just drops. So there's two types. Capitulation has happened a few times where this is a gradual bear market. This is another bear market, but there was capitulation as well. That's a housing crisis there. So we have dropped that. If we lose this 200 moving average on the weekly, let's look at the monthly. That's what the month does. No. We use that. We can potentially come that far down, can't we? We'll use that. If we were to use this as a reference, it's still pretty low. And if we use that, it hasn't even got to the 0.5 yet. Right now it's on it's approaching the 618. So if we lose that 618 there, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. That's going to pull back deeper, and then what we do is we pull our reference point to the next one, and then the 618 could be that one there, and then if it drops below that, we keep moving it down to see where it's got confluence. So yeah, all right, that's it pretty much. I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. I haven't got many people on. I think I've given them the information that they need. I'll waffle on a fair bit, but please give me a like and share. If you've got any questions further on, just post them and I'll try to answer. Otherwise, come and join our group and benefit from this type of discussion. Talk to you soon, and have a good